All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Second of all, I want to give the honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Elder Tahar, and on down and rule well. And third of all, I want to give a peace and safety to the hopeful elect out there, the brothers that push this truth, the truth of the King James Bible, and all truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. Our sides want to do a short lesson. I have alone the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai allows it to go. And this is going to be an update on the beast hating the whore. All right. And Lord Will's brothers can see on the screen. I have this article here from the RT News, and it says diplomats believe that NATO should prepare for a U.S. exit. All right, which NATO, or the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns spoken about in the Book of Revelations, represents the NATO and the European Union. All right, the Northern Atlantic Treaty Organization and the European Union, the EU, which America is a part of NATO, but America is also the beast or the whore. It's like the whore spoken about, which the beast will come up against the whore and destroy it. Again, even though America or the U.S. is a part of NATO, them different NATO and EU nations are going to turn on America and shoot missiles on it and destroy it. All right. According to biblical prophecy, like it tells us in Revelation, the 17th chapter, which I'm going to read here in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and read some of the article. It says, NATO could face a serious risk of U.S. leaving the alliance if Donald Trump is reelected in November. Right now, we don't know exactly what, the Most High, the Heavenly Father, is going to do to cause them different NATO and EU nations to just come to the conclusion that, we got to come up against this place. We got to destroy this place. All right, destroy America. All right, even though we're allies. All right, or the Most High can set it up where Trump pulls out, and tensions between them just continue to escalate. We don't know exactly how it's going to go down, but when Trump first got in office, he was going heavy, going at NATO heavy, saying that it's pretty much worthless for us being in there. They're not paying their fair share. All right, so on and so forth. So, it wouldn't be far-fetched to believe that if he does get back in office, if they do select him to get back in there, the elites tell him to, which it was really the elites. The elites give the go ahead and pull them out of NATO. All right, and then things just continue to escalate from there. All right, it says the Telegram said on Saturday, citing several diplomats from the bloc member states, Europe's NATO countries should develop some strategy to deal with the consequence of such an inequality. Right, because America's pretty much the muscle. All right, Babylon's pretty much the muscle of the NATO. All right, and that's why a while ago I did a video through the Spirit and Bobby how Bashim was shy. I believe it was France. I forget which one of the NATO nations was saying it, but they was basically saying that we should figure out a way to basically defend ourselves. You know, something to that effect, something like that. They said, all right. Let me select where I was at. Okay, it says NATO, the country should develop some strategy to deal with the consequence of such an inevitability. Reconsider the bloc's defense capability. They warn the possibility of America withdrawing is a concern. One European diplomat told the paper, "Nobody knows what he's going to do next," he said, referring to Trump. Which again, Trump's not doing anything. If they do pull out, it'll be because the higher ups want them to pull out. The higher ups of Esau want them to pull out. All right, and ultimately it's the Most High, who's pulling the strings. But we don't know. Again, we don't know exactly what the Heavenly Father is going to do to make them NATO nations feel like they got to come up against America, take part in the destruction of Babylon the Great. But something's going to happen, and they could start. The Most High could use this devil Trump to ignite the flame again. All right, to create more tension or whatever. All right, it says the former president secured the nomination in the Republican primary earlier this week as he swept 14 out of 15 states, a state of Super Tuesday, and got 995 Republican convention delegates votes. His opponent, Nikki Haley, dropped out of the race for the GOP nomination soon thereafter. he has expected to face off against President Joe Biden in November, since the incompetent president leader also came out on top in the Democratic primaries. It says earlier, several former senior U.S. officials claimed that a Trump White House could make an American withdraw from NATO. Hope so. Um, hope we hope he does do that. Former U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper makes such a prediction in December 2023. According to him, Trump could start pulling U.S. forces out of NATO countries, potentially causing the collapse of the alliance. So yeah, he could do that. He could just start pulling, troops out of the country. All right, and the NATO nations fear, and then something else could happen, and then that's what you know, um, they figure they just got to come up against this place. And again, we don't know if this is going to happen or not, but something's going to happen where they're going to fight against each other. All right. It says Rupert also reported on such a possibility at that time. In mid-February, Trump formed a national security advisory. John Bolton made a similar statement. NATO would be in real jeopardy, he said, adding that Trump would try to get out. A European diplomat said the rest of the bloc should do planning for a scenario in which Trump follows through on such plan or just weakens American comment. And another thing, a while back, uh, when Merkel, what's her name, Angela Merkel, I think it was, when she the prime minister of Germany, she said that well, no, her and Putin was at a meeting, and basically Putin was saying that, look, you don't have to depend on America or other Western nations to protect you. We can protect you. All right. So it might come down to where, I don't want to jump to conclude how it's going to be, because we don't know exactly what the Most High is going to do. I keep saying that, but we don't know. But I remember that he told the German chancellor at that time, Angela Merkel, that yeah, Germany, Russia can protect Germany. We'll protect you. All right. So it could just come down to it where they just decide to, run with Russia. Let's just do something with Russia. All right. And then America gets pissed off, and then they do something extreme, and then that kicks it off. All right. It says preparation needs to be in place. The paper source added. Another official described NATO as such a overly dependent on the U.S. As exclusion on hedging against risk of a U.S. withdrawal was necessary. This person added. A third source quoted by the paper said the European nation should check the adequacy of their own defense planning amid such a risk. In the UK, similar concerns were previously voiced by London Lord Kim Dorroch, however you pronounce it, a former British administrator to the U.S. and a Prime Minister National Security Advisor. If I were an official in any Prime Minister office around Europe, I would be commissioning the experts in the government to start doing some continuous counterizing counterrent Salakia, struggle saying that word. Uh, thinking thinking about how a NATO withdrawal without a U.S. Salakia would look. A function just in case, he said in a piece he wrote for the Prospect last month. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much all I'm gonna read. But yeah, this could be Trump could get back in there, and who knows if they're even gonna be another election. But Trump was stirring the pot when he was in office, going at NATO, saying that NATO was pretty much worthless. We don't, why are we even in NATO? It's worthless. They're not paying their fair share. We're tired of defending them, and they're not paying their fair share or whatever. So he could get back in there, and the elites have him just sign off on things to get for the U.S. to pull out or get out or to pull out of NATO. All right, which again, or they could it's a lot of ways it could go down. Them different NATO nations could decide to do business with Russia again. All right, and that pissed the U.S. off, and they pull out, and then they start fighting, and then the missiles are shot. There's a lot of ways it could go down, but it will go down. All right, this will take place. The destruction of Babylon, which is America, will take place, and their allies, which are the NATO and EU nations and different European nations, will take part in the destruction of Babylon in Babylon the Great. All right, and also the land of Israel will also be destroyed. Which ain't no news about that anymore. You don't even hear about it. I can't. You got to go deep down the search the web deep down to even find news. They were talking about it every day. Now they're not talking about it at all, because they're slaughtering those people over there. Not that we care anyway, but they're straight up massacring those people over there. And again, at least not the last few weeks, I haven't heard them say anything about the small hats and them Arabs. All right. This Revelation chapter 17, verse 16, and thou and the ten horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. Which again, the beast is the NATO and the EU, and the whore is America. All right. And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will. All right, so again, ultimately, this is the Most High. If they pull out, or whatever happens between them, it's the Most High stirring the pot to fulfill the will of the Heavenly Father, which is to have the different NATO nations also take part in the destruction of Babylon the Great. All right, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh should be fulfilled. All right, so no matter how it goes down, rather Trump pulls out or something else, some other way, Babylon the Great, which is America, will be destroyed, and their allies will take part in their destruction. All right, whether you believe it or not. Oh no, that'll never happen. They'll just come to the table and sit down, and when soon they will pull out. They will end their agreements or whatever, or they won't be on the same page anymore. All right, which really they're not now anyway. They're really not on the same page anyway, but ultimately it's gonna come down to them saying that we got to take America out. All right, it's time for America to go. All right, they're gonna have that come to that same conclusion, like Russia and China and other the Persians, Iranians, or Elam and Ishmael, other nations, the kings of the East that have the nuclear weapons. Eventually, at some point, they're gonna say America has to be destroyed, and they're gonna come down to that same conclusion in different NATO and EU nations. All right. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and safety to you, brothers, that push this truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom to the elect.